This is how I store my unmounted stamps. So you can see here I have some regular silicone see-through cling stamps. I have chosen to not store by set. I store them by what they are. So in a second, you're going to see what I mean. These are all unmounted former wood stamps that I used easy mount on, and I just did a video on how to do that. And then these are the cling mounts and they already cling. What I did do for these is, I'll show you the other side. This is what the other side looks like. Sorry for the glare, but I want you to be able to see it. You can see these are on the other side. These are these, okay? And these are all the cling mounts, okay? For these, I took the stickers off of the back of the cling mount. So these always have a sticker. Well, they often, I should say, have a sticker on them. If they don't, then they have, they come on a sheet that has the images pre-printed, okay? What I did, in this case, these were pre-printed on a piece of acetate where the stamps lived. I cut out all the acetate and I used a glue stick and glued them down to the surface. Actually, that's not true. I apologize. This was already laminated. So I used packing tape and you can see the reflection of the packing tape and some of the ripples in it, but that's fine. I don't care. So these all had images already, and I just used those, cut them out and used those and put them on with packing tape. And these guys did not have stickers that I could use and did not have pre-stamped images. So I just used some white cardstock and stamped them out and then cut them and again, use packing tape to adhere them down. How did I get this piece? This is just a file folder that I cut in half, and then I cut them down a little bit because I was using a particular kind of basket to store them. Let me show you that. So I have this basket. You see it's long and narrow. That they stand perfectly in this, which is great. I also store, like, I wouldn't take these off of the sheet that they came on because it's fine just the way it is. But on my other stamps, I did this method too. So you can see here's another one. And what I did make a point of doing was lining them up as best I could on the other side. So I knew that directly on the other side of this is that stamp, if that makes sense. These are pretty easy to tell the difference between, but some of the florals especially, it's a little bit harder. So anyway, I took my file folder, cut it in half, and then I cut it down so that it would fit in that basket. So you can see if this is one half of the file folder, I cut off the tab part, the top part, and I cut off a bit of the side so that it would fit in my baskets. And then once they were in half, so this is in half, and all the extra was cut off, I ran them through a sheet laminator, one of those hard laminators that you can buy. I bought mine at Walmart 100 years ago. It's a Scotch brand, and you can buy the pockets that you put the paper in to laminate. So I laminated them, and the reason why is because that's what the cling mount is going to stick to. It's that plasticky or glass surface that those are going to stick to. So that's all I did. I mean, I remounted the stamps, I cut them all out, I sorted them by what they are. So for example, these aren't all my florals, but this is one sheet of florals, and that's all that's on here. I have sheets, I have a whole basket of just backgrounds, and they're all labeled as backgrounds. I have my words and letters separate, and those are all labeled as such. So this is, to me, this is making more sense than this is a set, and then there's probably like a sentiment that goes with it. And so I'm going to store them that way. I take all the sentiments and I put them all together in the words. I think it's words and phrases is what I called the basket, but it doesn't really matter. This just makes it easier for me to find. So if I know I want to put a floral on something, I can go and look at my floral folders and see what I have. So that's really it. I made my own tab on the top with a tab punch. This is the tab punch that I use. It's from We Are Makers, or I think, yeah, We Are Makers. They used to be We Are Memory Keepers. And then they actually sell little packs of stickers. That's what this, so I just cut it out of regular cardstock, wrote my word on it. And then they sell stickers that are a harder plastic that you cover the tab that you cut out with, and then it also sticks here, if that makes sense. So initially I wanted to use the tab that was on the folders, but the folders are too big for that, so I couldn't do that. Also to note, in the future, when I do this, I would stamp, if I had to do this, I would stamp onto the folder instead of paper, and that saves me a step, and then do all that before I laminated it. The only reason I didn't do it that way this time was because I had so many to cut out, and I wasn't really sure at first how I was going to organize them. So I did it kind of backwards than the way I would do it in the future. But so that is how I choose to store my stamps. And what's great is that I went from having all these boxes of stamps to a couple of baskets, the size that I showed you, about 4 baskets, the size I showed you. It's literally hundreds of stamps. So, and they're all well organized now. So that's how I do it.